Today we're going to discuss AI data centers. Now, this is one of the most important topics today because these data centers are consuming so much electricity that it is putting pressure on the electric grid system. The CEO of one major utility company said he had never seen anything like this in his career before. This reminds me of what happened in California in 2000 when the California energy crisis happened. You may remember this, where they were rolling blackouts and energy prices went through the roof. Well, something like that is happening right now, but on a regional level. In my opinion, it won't be as bad as the California crisis was, but there's certainly a lot of growing pains happening, and this is causing a massive amount of innovation in the utility sector that should result in a stronger and better electric grid system. So what is happening? Why are data centers consuming so much electricity? Let's take a look at 6 major trends that are happening right now. First, demand source quantification. The U.S. Energy Information Administration reports that AI data centers are now the majority driver of U.S. incremental power demand. Electricity needs from these facilities are projected to triple from about 4% of total national consumption today to over 12% by 2030. It is estimated that AI workloads will represent up to 40% of total data center power use by 2026. Together, Virginia, Texas, and California account for over 80% of current load, severely straining local grids and raising hotspot risks. The second trend is infrastructure response and upgrade tracking. As a result of all this extra load being dumped onto the grid system, massive investments are flowing into grid upgrades and new generation. Everything from renewables to gas to nuclear, but interconnection queue delays persist. On top of that, long permitting and supply chain bottlenecks hinder rapid adaptation. But about 30% of new data centers now target some form of on-site generation to bypass grid bottlenecks. This trend is expected to more than double by 2030. Third, grid performance and resiliency analysis. Utilities are deploying digital controls, advanced SCADA systems, and predictive analytics to monitor real-time grid stability and utilization. They are also focusing sharply on resiliency as new data center and EV loads materialize. Distributed energy resources are becoming more common, especially in Texas and the Mid-Atlantic regions. Microgrids and battery storage are being used to address peak loads and localize resiliency. Fourth, policy, pricing, and risk monitoring. New regulatory frameworks are developing. For instance, Texas and PJM, that's the Mid-Atlantic region, mandate large data centers to join demand response programs. They're also requiring data centers to shoulder portions of grid upgrade costs. Market signals such as capacity auctions and locational price spikes provide early warnings of regional stress. In PJM, capacity costs soared from $2.2 billion to $14.7 billion between 2021 and 2024. Driven largely by data center demand. Locational marginal pricing signals like those from PJM and capacity markets like ERCOT SR, sending strong signals to developers about where investments should be made. Fifth, visualization and stakeholder reporting. New dashboards and analytics systems are mapping real-time grid capacity, demand surges, and reliability hotspots. This is helping to support evidence-based planning for utilities, investors, and regional agencies. Sixth, innovative grid management and future planning. Utilities and grid operators are pursuing collaborative siting of new data centers. Financial guarantees for long-term grid build-out and distributed resource pooling to de-risk infrastructure investment cycles. There are companies that are starting to do this. Some have even suggested tax incentives to encourage data center operators to co-locate within existing industrial or manufacturing sites to share infrastructure. The key is to work with developers and operators to plan for resilient and sustainable community engagement. These 6 trends are really important, and they are part of a larger trend that is transforming the electric grid system. The modern electric grid is going to look very different than the old electric grid that we had in the past. Now, if you look at the history of the electric grid, it hasn't changed much since 1935, when the first modern grid was created. The electric grid was designed for reliability and not efficiency. But now we're seeing a major shift. Today, the emphasis is shifting towards efficiency and flexibility. Now, in the past, baseload generators dominated the energy industry, and they set the price. But today, the marginal cost of new energy capacity is falling, and renewables are dominating. This is why we're seeing a shift in the energy industry. Renewables are variable by their nature, which makes them more risky. This is where the concept of an ERO, or an energy reliability obligation, comes in. An ERO is a mechanism to ensure that a certain percentage of the generation is reliable. If you have a wind farm, for instance, the output is variable, and if it doesn't produce enough energy, then the utility has to go out and buy energy on the spot market. So with an ERO, a utility can avoid buying expensive energy on the spot market. The way it works is the utility pays a fee to the state, and the state backs a certain percentage of energy that's reliable. The trends we just talked about in the data center industry are all tied to the proliferation of AI. It seems like every day there's news about another company that's moving to the cloud or using more AI, and as a result, electricity usage is rising. It's estimated that the electricity use of cloud data centers and edge computing facilities increased by 17% in 2023 alone. Now, some say that AI isn't going to have a major impact on the energy industry, but I believe that's wrong. I think AI is going to play a major role in the future of energy. For instance, AI is at the heart of smart grids, which are electric power grids that use digital communications to collect and exchange information. Smart grids use sensors and other devices to collect data on the status and operation of the grid. This data is then used to improve the efficiency and reliability of the grid. Smart grids are able to respond in real time to changes in demand and supply. This allows the grid to better integrate renewable energy sources, which are variable by their nature. AI is also used in demand response programs, which are programs that allow utilities to reduce demand during periods of high stress. Utilities offer customers incentives for reducing their energy consumption during these periods. AI is also used to predict when equipment is likely to fail so that maintenance can be scheduled accordingly. So let's talk about how AI is modernizing the grid. First, AI is being used to optimize the use of distributed energy resources. That's DERs, such as solar and wind. By coordinating the actions of these resources, AI can ensure that they are used in the most efficient way possible. Second, AI is being used to improve the reliability of the grid. As we discussed, AI can predict when equipment is likely to fail so that maintenance can be scheduled accordingly. Third, AI is being used to automate the grid. This allows the grid to respond in real time to changes in demand and supply. Fourth, AI is being used to improve the cybersecurity of the grid. This is accomplished by identifying anomalies and taking steps to mitigate threats. Fifth, AI is being used to manage the increasing complexity of the grid. The grid is becoming more complex due to the integration of new technologies and the need to meet changing demands. AI can help grid operators manage this complexity and make better decisions. Sixth, AI is being used to improve the efficiency of the grid. This can be accomplished by reducing energy waste and improving the performance of grid equipment. Seventh, AI is being used to enable new business models in the energy industry. For example, AI is enabling the growth of the data center industry by providing the computing power needed to process and store massive amounts of data. Overall, AI is transforming the electric grid, making it more efficient, reliable, and secure. AI is enabling the grid to meet the challenges of the 21st century and beyond. If you enjoyed this episode, give it a thumbs up and share it with others. Subscribe to our channel to stay informed about the latest developments in the AI and data center industries. And as always, thank you for watching. The information presented in this report is intended solely for entertainment and informational purposes and does not constitute financial, investment, or trading advice. All opinions, analysis, and statements expressed herein are personal views and are not recommendations to buy, sell, or hold any securities or assets. Market data and any related commentary are provided as is, and may not be accurate, complete, or up to date. Neither the author nor the publisher assumes any liability for financial losses, damages, or other consequences resulting from actions taken based on the information contained in this content. Please consult with a qualified financial advisor or conduct your own independent research before making any investment decisions. Investing in financial markets involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. This content is purely for entertainment purposes and should not be relied upon for any financial decisions.